Good afternoon, this is How to Aviate, and this is part one of choosing and buying a battle rifle. In part one today we're going to look at two bolt-action surplus battle rifles. The first of which was made in the Soviet Union in the early 40s, and it is an M38. It was the first carbine version of the Mosin Nagant. It's spelled M-O-S-I-N-N-A-G-A-N-T. The original Mosin Nagant had a barrel that was roughly this much longer, and all they did for this carbine was to cut the barrel back, and it has no provision for a bayonet here, but it is a bolt-action rifle, very nicely built, manufactured to survive battlefield conditions. It holds 5 rounds of 7.62 by 54, which is a high-powered rifle cartridge. The cartridges are loaded from the top via a stripper clip, and once again you can load 5 in here. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with bolt-action rifles, once you have the cartridges loaded in, you chamber, and for each time you fire, you would rework the bolt, and I'm a lefty, so I'm doing this right-handed. For every cartridge you fire, you would have to rework the bolt. Because I'm a lefty, I'm a little bit of a disadvantage here with bolt-action rifles, because they were really designed for right-handed people. Although, you can learn to work them well with either hand. But this is a real decent example of an M38. It is pretty. I redid the stock when I got this, and the collectors will say don't do that, but this had some limited collector value, but now it's really pretty. It became relatively pretty. The bore, inside the tube here, the shape of the bore was very, very good. I'd say excellent, and it had no rust, no pitting on the outside. The stock was in really good condition. It wasn't that pretty though, so I redid it, and it's a very pretty gun now. The sling is also non-standard. The sling that came with it was so full of cosmoline, which is what's used to store these, that I really couldn't clean it effectively. Haven't yet. And this is an aftermarket East Block sling for it, which works very well on this gun. So this is a Mosin Nagant. Fires a 7.62 by 54 cartridge, which is a high-powered rifle cartridge. Bolt action. Very practical, very hard use for a truck gun. A relatively accurate gun. You can hit targets at 300, 400, 500 yards with this, with open sights, not a problem. Man size or even smaller targets maybe. So, good hunting gun. You can hunt anything in the United States with this cartridge out of this rifle, and it's about 8 pounds. Very durable. 100 bucks. Right now at Big 5 I saw the long version of this. This was 139. The cartridges for these are widely available. 7.62 by 54. You can get about 1,000 for 200 bucks. So, considering you could get, if you got one of these for 100, for 300 bucks you have a rifle and 1,000 cartridges. That's really affordable, and this is, by the way, the best I could do as far as affordability goes. So, bolt-action battle rifle, Mosin Nagant. The second one we're going to look at here is a Serbian Mauser. This is another bolt-action rifle. It fires an 8mm Mauser cartridge, which is another high-powered rifle cartridge. Once again, it's bolt-action, so as a lefty, I'm a little bit of a disadvantage, but for each time you fire a round, you'd have to rack another one in there. So, not a fast action, but you can learn how to use these quite well. This one, the Serbian Mausers are nicely fitted, nicely finished, a little prettier gun than the Russian gun, and actually I think a little bit more well balanced. I tend to shoot this one better than the Mosin. The sight radius is a little better also, and the stock sights on these, the rear and the front sights, are a little cleaner. But both these bolt action rifles, the Mosin and this, are very solid rifles for somebody wanting to get into hunting cheaply, sport, and even defending your personal liberties. So the cartridges are about the same price as the 7.62 by 54. The 8mm Mauser, you can get the surplus for about $200 per 1,000, and that's corrosive ammo in both cases here that I've talked about. You can get non-corrosive ammo for the 7.62 by 54 and the 8mm Mauser. A bit more expensive, a lot more expensive really. About 50 cents a round or more for both rifles. But they're reloadable. Those cartridges that you're buying from Winchester and Remington are reloadable. The reloading components for the 8mm Mauser are a little more widely or readily available. And so if you're going to shoot a lot, either way, whether you go with a Mosin or a Serbian Mauser, get into reloading. If nothing else, you're going to learn a whole lot more about ballistics, and you're a tool. So not a bad idea. So those are the bolt action rifles we're looking at today. One thing I can say about the bolt action rifles, being that in part one here we're talking about bolt action rifles, is both of those rifles, the Serbian Mauser and the Mosin Nagant, recoil quite a bit. I put a kick pad on the Mosin Nagant because it's actually a lighter rifle than the Serbian Mauser. It recoils a bit more. So if you're recoil sensitive, I would maybe shy away from those bolt action rifles. So they're very good battle rifles. If you don't mind recoil and you want a fine, well-designed, accurate, long-range gun, not a bad way to go in either way. The ammunition is widely available and it's inexpensive. And both those firearms can be had, actually a big five, right now. The Serbian Mauser $199 and the Mosin Nagant for about $100. So those are available. Ammunition too. So there you go. And in part two, we'll talk about the semi-automatics.